Greetings everyone, this is Long Yu. Welcome to the magical world. Today I'm going to be talking about the Wheel of the Year and explaining just very briefly about the 8 pagan holidays. And here we go. So this is the Wiccan Wheel of the Year, and it is the pagan holiday calendar. It is also used in many cultures around the world celebrate these holidays, not just Wiccans, but other varieties of different pagans and things like that. So the Wheel of the Year is a representation of the 8 pagan holidays or Wiccan Sabbats. These holidays honor and celebrate the seasons and cycles of life for those who practice paganism or Wicca. Even those who are not of these spiritual denominations or beliefs recognize these holidays in different ways. It is considered by many to be an earth-based religion. What are the Sabbats? The holidays or Sabbats are representations of the start of each season and midway points between them. They are split evenly throughout the year. They are referred to as pagan holidays as they hold roots in the pagan religions of the Celtic and Germanic pagans. Wiccan observe these days as Sabbats. Although the word Sabbat holds roots in Judaism and Hebrew, in reference to the Wiccan religion, it originates from the word Sabbath, which means a meeting or gathering to practice rituals and rites. Pagan holidays and Sabbats are interchangeable in that they represent the same days on which the rituals and celebrations occur. What are the 8 pagan holidays? So here they are. I'm going to briefly say the name of them, the date, and what the significance is. So first, at the top you have Yule, which is December 20th to 23rd. It's the winter solstice. It's preparations for upcoming cold months. The Imbolc, February 2nd, is the celebration of promise of the return of spring. Next one, Ostar, March 19th to 22nd, celebration of spring and fertility. Beltane, May 1st, halfway point between spring equinox and summer solstice, celebration of fertility. Lita is June 19th to 23rd, is the summer solstice, celebration of the harvest. Lugnasad, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, or some of these I might not be pronouncing right. August 1st, midway point between summer and autumn, is the first harvest. Mabon, September 21st to 24th, is the autumn equinox, and it's a celebration of the arrival of autumn. Samhain is October 31st to November 1st, and it's a time for honoring past souls, thin veil between the living and the dead. Alright, so now I'm going to do a little more explanation on each of these 8. And what I'm going to do further is I'm going to do a separate video for the 8 different holidays to explain in more depth. Today is just a summary of the Wheel of the Year. Okay? So here, first we're going to talk more about Yule, which is the winter solstice, December 20th to 23rd. Yule is held during the winter solstice when our days become shorter. It is the time in which last preparations are made for the coming cold months. It is also a time to remind oneself of the warmth and life-giving source of the sun or fire. Trees are decorated with food that thrive in the cold months to represent continual growth and life through the dark, cold nights. Some Christmas traditions come from Yule, for example, the use of mistletoe and the use of Yule logs, which were believed to have the ability to banish evil spirits and bring good luck. One of the oldest winter traditions in the world, the winter solstice is held on the shortest day of the year. So that's really what winter solstice is. It's the time, it's the shortest day of the year, and it's the longest night. And what happens after that? well, then the sun is going to be coming back, so it's going to be coming a little bit longer days, and the nights will become a little shorter until they get to the point of equal, which is equinox. Equinox, equal day, equal night. All right, so here we go. And the next one is Imbolc. The promise of spring is February 2nd. This is like a midway. Imbolc translated literally means in the belly in Gaelic. It is called this because it is when the sheep first began to give milk again, signifying they were pregnant. A joyous occasion, it symbolized the promise of the return of spring and is halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. This is a time in which both crops and animals are blessed to ensure an abundant year, that all would be healthy and new life would spring forth soon. Signs of the first buds of spring are appearing. Maidens and the pagan goddess Brigid are honored on this holiday as they represent fertility. With the conversion to Christianity in Ireland, Brigid the goddess became Saint Brigid, and missionaries incorporated the traditional pagan customs into Christianity in Ireland. And the next one is Ostar, is the spring equinox, and that's March 19th to 22nd. Spring has arrived, our days are becoming warmer and longer, new life is sprouting all around us, fertility is abounding and is represented by the hare and eggs. The origins of some Easter traditions come from this holiday. Eostur is a Germanic goddess who became the namesake of the Easter and Ostar traditions. Next is Beltane, Festival of Fire, May Day, May 1st. Beltane is the halfway point between spring equinox and summer solstice. It is an exciting time because spring is now in full bloom and the longer, warmer days of summer are approaching. The word Beltane originates from the Celtic god Bel and the Gaelic word Tien, which means fire. A time to give gratitude and thanks to the fertility of spring. Festivities start on the eve of May 1st, with big, beautiful bonfires representing life, and end on May 1st with wearing flower crowns and dancing the maypole. Beltane is also considered a time when the veil between worlds is thin, as with Samhain, therefore it is a magical and powerful time. Beltane was also considered to be an important event for celebrating and nurturing the harvest. And the next is Litha, summer solstice, June 19th to 23rd. Litha is the midsummer celebration of the longest day and shortest night of the year. It is the time when not only all work can be done, but enjoyment as well. The days have become long enough to do both. It is also a time when engagements are announced and blessings are made for a full, abundant crop in the coming harvest. Traditional methods of celebration include bonfires and torchlight, processions, rituals intended to encourage the sun, whose power shall wane through the remainder of the season. Many modern pagans refer to Litha simply as midsummer. And then Lugnasad, the first harvest, August 1st. That is the midway point between summer and autumn. This festival marks the first harvest of the grains and fruits. It celebrates the new harvest of bread and fresh fruits, gives gratitude for it, and is also the time when many would become married. The festival is named after the Celtic god of light, Lugh, L-U-G-H, Lugh, and is the first celebration of autumn and the harvest. According to legend, Lugh's mother, Taitio, cleared the lands of Ireland to help prepare for the planting of crops. This mythical backstory helps to explain the festival's historical role as a celebration of the harvest. Then next we have Mabon, autumn equinox. That's September 21st and 24th. Mabon is the arrival of autumn, and with it the reaping of the harvest. It celebrates the abundance, the fruits of the labor put in throughout the year, and signals preparations for the winter soon to come. And the next one is Samhain, Halloween, Witches' New Year, October 31st to November 1st. Samhain is one of the most important festivals of the year. It is believed to be a very magical time, as the veil between the world of the living and the dead is thin. It is on this eve that one honors their past family, friends, and familiars. Jack-o'-lanterns are lit to light the way for the past souls. It is considered a very powerful time, and it is great to ask for guidance, help, clearing of negativity, and starting of the new year in a positive light. It is a magical time that many still celebrate today. These are just short explanations of these beautiful pagan holidays. They are truly filled with wonderful traditions, foods, crafts, and gatherings all their own. So like I said, I will be doing a separate video on each one to elaborate further. And where does the wheel of the year begin? Where does the wheel start? Considering the wheel of the year is a circle and truly has no beginning or end, it is often asked when the new year begins. Some believe the new year cycle starts on Samhain, as it is the witches' new year. Others believe it falls on or after Yule, since that more closely corresponds to our modern calendars. So personally, I practice the wheel of the year to begin on Samhain. So for me, Samhain is the beginning of the new year, just like the witches' new year. That's personally what I practice. Okay, next is now the dates of the solstices and the equinoxes vary because they can change from year to year. However, they tend to fall within a 3 to 5 day range. So they're they're almost the same each year. Now, what about the origins of these holidays, these pagan holidays? The Wheel of the Year holidays originate mostly from Celtic and Germanic pagan rituals many moons ago. Some of the pagan holidays were celebrated by Celtic pagans, others by Germanic. It is unclear when exactly the 8 were melded together to become the now known and recognized Wheel of the Year. The holidays with Celtic origins are Imbolc, Beltane, Lughnasadh, and Samhain. The holidays with Germanic origins are Yule, Oster, Lita, and Mabon. The pagan holidays or Sabbats are not only split between Celtic and Germanic pagan traditions, but as follows: Greater and Lesser Sabbats. According to Wiccan beliefs, the Sabbats are split into Greater and Lesser Sabbats. The Lesser Sabbats are those that fall on the solstices and equinoxes, known as quarter holidays, as they evenly split the year according to the sun's position. They are rooted in the Germanic pagan religious celebrations. So the Lesser Sabbats are Yule, Oster, Lita, and Mabon. Now the Greater Sabbats are those that fall in between the cross-quarter days and are rooted in the Celtic or Gaelic pagan traditions. These Sabbats are also referred to as fire festivals. The Greater Sabbats are Imbolc, Beltane, Lughnasadh, and Samhain. Now, the Sun and Moon Sabbats. Another way in which the Sabbats or pagan holidays can be split into are Sun and Moon Sabbats. The Sun Sabbats are those that are based on the position of the Sun falling on solstice or equinox. They are Yule, Oster, Lita, and Mabon. The remaining pagan holidays, Sabbats, are celebrated on full moons or in the case of Samhain, the dark moon. These are Imbolc, Beltane, Lughnasadh, and Samhain. As you can see, there is a clear definition of the 2 sets of 4 that, when blended together, became the 8 we know today. The seasons and astronomical positioning of the sun during solstices and the equinoxes obviously occur worldwide. Therefore, similar celebrations of these are found across the world. They are not solely pagan holidays or Wiccan Sabbats, nor were they first celebrated by them. These natural occurrences have been honored, celebrated, and recognized by many of the ancient cultures and civilizations of man. Now, the role of the seasons. The Wheel of the Year and the 8 pagan holidays are a representation of the different seasons throughout the year. With each season, there are certain things to ask for or intentions to set that resonate with that particular time of the year. Whether you're pagan or not, it is good to keep in mind the seasons and what they represent. Winter. Winter is a time of reflection. Hibernation and looking inward are natural during the cold winter months. It is a time in which we can ponder, take a look at the past to learn from it, and contemplate the future and which seeds we want to plant in the coming spring. Spring. Spring brings with it new beginnings, growth, abundance, and fertility. This is the time to set in motion new goals, intentions, and ideas for our life. We are coming out of the cold winter and have reflected and gone inward. Spring beckons us back out to feel the warmer days and plant new seeds, both literally and figuratively. Summer gives us the longest days of the year, providing more hours for us to accomplish tasks as well as relax. As everything should now be in full bloom, it's a time to think about what you would like to have come to completion or fruition in your life, and to free yourself of those things that will not bring forth a rich harvest. Autumn. Autumn allows us to reap our benefits. It's a time of harvesting and a time when we can see the fruit of our labor and the hard work we have spent the majority of the year nurturing and tending to. It's a time to evaluate and recognize the work and seeds we planted back in spring. Did it bring forth fruit? By looking at the aspects of our life that bore fruit and those that did not, we can begin to ask ourselves the questions we should be reflecting on during the winter. So that's basically all. There's a tiny bit more here. Celts were connected with the Druids, which were very focused on season change and equinox solstices. One tradition even speaks of people retreating to a cave where the light then comes in and welcomes the spring. So that's very interesting. Okay, so I will stop there. So that is the Wheel of the Year, and in my next coming videos, I'm going to go through each particular pagan holiday and talk more elaborately upon each one and how people celebrate it and what is, what it's about, what it represents, and all those kinds of things. So that'll be very fun to do. And I definitely incorporate the Wheel of the Year into my life and my spiritual practice. And I find it to be very significant and powerful. And I love being connected with the seasons in a deep and thoughtful way. And it brings much light and happiness into my life. So I wanted to share that with all of you. And thanks for listening, and you all have a beautiful day.